moving on to our spotlight matchup where we'll be looking to some college basketball, a good old Big 12 bash. We promised we'd mix it up from yesterday, which was a little SEC heavy, and here we are. Number 25, Texas Tech, who is 10-2, 0-0 in conference play, and number 11, Iowa State, who is 12-1, 0-1 in their conference. Right now, Iowa State is favored at -4 with a total of 126.5. This will be the first conference game for the Red Raiders after their matchup with Oklahoma State was postponed. They entered the night having won 4 of their last 5, that loss being to number 5, Gonzaga. They did beat number 13, Tennessee in OT, the second loss coming at the hands of Providence, which seems a little fluky. And now looking at Iowa State, who was on a 12-game winning streak before falling to number 1 ranked Baylor, 77-72, so not even a bad loss to the number 1 team in the country. Also the most points they've given up all season. They also picked up wins over number 25 Xavier and number 9 Memphis, which is a good sign, seeing as how they are going to have their work cut out for them facing 4 ranked schools in their next 5 games, Archie. They will also look to put in a 1 in that win column in conference play tonight. The biggest news, however, is Terrence Shannon Jr. being out for Tech, one of their best players. So, Archie, with all of this in mind, who do you like in this one tonight?
Yeah, that Terrence Shannon news came about 10 minutes before we went off on the show. He's going to be out with a back issue tonight. So we're going to be paying attention to the home team in Iowa State in this game. And there's a couple of good reasons for it. One, they are really strong defensively. It's one of those reasons why LSU was able to be so good last night against Kentucky is because their defense not only travels, but at home it plays so compact and so well that it's really hard to get shots over them and to get them to go in. In fact, both these teams are really great defensively, only averaging like 58 points a game allowed per game.
Mm-hmm.
Both teams are in the top 10 as far as opponent field goal percentage is allowed in the NCAA. They are really studly teams when it comes to playing defense. But sort of the difference for me is the Penn State transfer, Isaiah Brockington, who's averaging nearly 18 points a game on the season, 8 rebounds on the season too. So if you're watching for a guy, look for number 1 for Iowa State. He is going to be a difference maker if Iowa State wants to be able to cover the 4 tonight. I tend to lean toward a defensive team that could play like this at home. Also because Texas Tech has had literally one true road game this entire season so far, and they lost at Providence. That was that game. Now, Providence is a fine team, all right? They're pretty good in the Big East, but that's the only true road trip I had to judge them on this entire season. Mm-hmm. So if that's going to be the result, and maybe I should have listened to that when Kentucky's only road trip was to Notre Dame and they lost last night. But if I'd listened to that, maybe I'd won that. But I'm going to pay attention to that, too, because that's not nearly as tough an environment as what they're about to go see in Ames, Iowa is going to be. That's going to be a loud, raucous student section. That is when it's going to be a great game to watch. This is the game I'm watching tonight above all else. You know, I know it's not the game of the day, it's the spotlight game, but this is the game I'm watching because I think this is going to be a low-scoring, really competitive basketball game, a really physical one, too. So I like Iowa State to be able to cover the 4 in this game. But I also think it's going to be really close all the way to the very end. But give me the Cyclones tonight to cover the 4.
Okay. I don't know why I'm really tempted to take Texas Tech in this one. I just get a little nervous based on the road game and the strength of schedule up until now, like you mentioned. What I do know is Kevin McCullough, not to be confused with McAllister, leads the Red Raiders in points, rebounds, and assists, while Isaiah Brockington carries the Cyclones in points and rebounds. Iowa State is 5-8 against the spread this season, while the Texas Tech is 6-5-1 and are 2-1 as the 4-point dogs. 9 of the Cyclones games have gone over this total of 126.5, and the Red Raiders have also seen it in 9 of their 12 games. The closest Tech has played a team in their last 5 meetings was against Tennessee by a difference of 5 points. The Cyclones' closest in their last 5 was also by 5 points to Baylor on New Year's Day. This one is tough. I think conference play is a different ball game, which is why we are seeing this line pretty close. I want to be different and say Wreckham Tech. And even despite everything stacked against them, that is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a little crazy here. Archie, give me Texas Tech +4 on the road. I don't love it, but I just want to take a chance here.
I'll tell you, if you're going to have a chance to win that bet, Texas Tech is going to have to clean up the turnovers. They turn the ball over once every 5 possessions, and Iowa State's really good. They turn the other teams over like 27% of the time. So, yeah, if they can clean that up, they got a real good shot to be able to be in this game late and win it. Because, again, defense can get you a long, long, long way in the NCAA.
College basketball's been tricky for me. Like, I keep taking the obvious picks. They keep letting me down. So let's do something different. Let's mix it up.
All right.
Probably not smart in this one, but we'll see.
I'm with you. I'm against you. I want to win this bet, so whenever we show it over on OutKick Bets, the Twitter page later, that I won this bet and you lost it.
Yeah.
But if you won it, I can see why. I absolutely see why.